Hello, and welcome back to Black Voices, a podcast where we explore the stories, experiences, and identities of individuals living in Japan. I'm your host, Kate Brown, and I'm excited to kick off our very first episode with a special guest. Joining us today is Mr. Kumalo, a teacher at my school, who has kindly agreed to share his journey and reflections as a foreigner navigating life in Japan. Thank you so much for being here, Mr. Kumalo. I'm really looking forward to our conversation, and so starting off, would you be so kind to introduce a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, I'm known as Mr. Kumalo at school, but my name is Piwe Kumalo. I was born, bred, and buttered in Soweto, a very special big township from South Africa. And I just recently moved to Japan last year, August. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll have just 6 questions, simple, I want you to talk about. So the first question is, in what ways has living in Japan influenced and how you see and understand your own identity?
It's been interesting and strange in a way because I've never really traveled outside of South Africa ever before. So to start by traveling the world and going to Japan was like, okay. Everything is so different here.
Right.
It's so formal and structured. So it has its good side and a bit of, I wouldn't say bad, but like totally new side
Right,
to the rest
very
of the
different.
world. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay. What are some common misunderstandings or stereotypes you've encountered about Black culture or identity in Japan?
I don't know if it's me, but what I've realized is Japan people are not really used to Black people, and
Right.
I think that goes to how little Black people I've seen ever since I moved here. I mean, I've been around, I've been moving around Japan with that short time I've been here, but you hardly see Black people. So at first it was more of the stares, like when they stare at you, and I was like, I mean,
Right,
I'm
yeah.
from Africa, so that there's more Black people than any other race.
Yeah,
so
right.
it's something not common in South Africa for an Asian or someone to stare at you because there's more Black people than anything else. But yeah, it's been interesting, but the people are nice. The people are nice. And
Right. Yeah. I completely understand. And especially because Japan is more of a conservative Asian country compared to like, I don't know, Korea or China. Especially because we don't live in Tokyo, where everyone goes to.
Yeah, no, it has its own weird moments. Like to mention one or two, like in trains, like there's those weird vibes where people don't want to sit next to you,
Right.
and I'm like, something wrong with me because like I learned that smell is something a big deal in Japan, and so I'm like, do I smell bad or did I put on too much cologne, which I don't even use here. So it's those little moments where you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's
hard to like.
Yeah, it's hard to balance what someone is thinking, and they're so polite and respectful, even though it's something they don't like, they won't tell you. So it's so super difficult to really understand what's going on. So yeah.
Yes. Okay. Can you share any experiences in Japan that helped you grow or strengthen like those problems or like misunderstandings you had here? I know you've not been here for long, but
yeah, I guess my experience living in Japan is different from most people. I mean, at first it was that thing of, did I make the right choice coming here? Like a few weeks in the stay, I was like, I don't really think it's a good idea that I should live here. But like, you also need to go back to reasons why you moved to Japan, because no one pointed a gun on my head. It was like, go to Japan now.
Right.
So you always have to draw yourself back and think of reasons behind why you came to Japan. And I'm not alone, and that's the good part about it. That whenever I get stressed out, my wife has traveled the world, so she knows how it feels like being different in a different country. So she's always been like supportive of whatever it is that I go through, and I'm like, I don't think I like being here, like things like culture shock and all of that. She's been. It's not like I'm just by myself, you know. So
Oh, that's wonderful.
yeah, it has taught me be patient with new things, and no matter how frustrating and difficult they can be, like things like language, like how do I like it, it's hard to move to where you'd like to go because you can't read,
Right.
you can't speak the language, so it kind of it limits you a bit, but it builds a person. It needs a strong person to be like, you know what, I'm just gonna go there with my phone and I'll tell these people through my phone what the heck I want to eat, where the heck I want to go. So yeah, no, it has taught me more than anything patience and understanding of the world doesn't revolve around you, which is something so important coming from Africa, where it's all about us.
Yeah.
We are, it's us, everything is us, and the rest of the world follows. So it has grounded me in a way, like, and given me a chance to see how other people view life in a way. So yeah, it's been amazing. Like it builds your outer skin in ways that you never imagined. Worse for someone who's never been anywhere in the world. So it's cool.
Yeah, it's really amazing to hear because obviously there's so many barriers between of, for instance, South Africa and Japan, the language, the culture, like honestly everything. I can't name,
it's
I can't name one thing that's probably similar.
Nah, there isn't any.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing. Like it's so interesting. Like because like I know maybe a Black American would feel different or beg to differ with me because Black people in the U.S. are not they're not the majority, and so that feeling of being less is something they are
already experiencing.
Yeah, for me, where I'm like, there's more of me.
Yeah.
And then you get to a place where there's pretty much close to none of you. It's very, very different. Like I come from a country where people express themselves. Like freedom of speech is like it's a known thing. Look, we have 11 official languages. I speak 9 out of 11. So engaging for me is something I value in so many ways. And like I've heard people like, yeah, you need to learn Japanese. I'm like, I'm trying, but it's nothing. It's like
different. Yeah.
It's so different and difficult to like. So I'm like that whole thing of not having friends is totally new. Like you can't speak or say anything. I only know how to say good morning, good day, good evening. So, but yeah, it's a different world. It feels like living in a different planet.
Right. So the next question is, how do you feel Black people or cultures are portrayed in Japan? Japanese media specifically, and do you see like any shifts or differences over time? More so just like, would you think the accuracy of how Japanese people portray Black people are always right? Like especially in media form?
To be quite honest with you, Black people are complex. It's 54 countries in Africa home to Black people, and we all we're all different. Like I'm afraid I have to say, like we eat different, we live different, we move different, and it's gonna take time for not only Japan but the whole world to really understand being black. You know, it's a very broad and complex thing to understand. Most black people still don't understand themselves. Like there's black people around the world who still trying to figure out where they come from in that black society. Like being black doesn't mean we're black. There's layers to it. Like there's culture, there's tradition, and so it'll take the whole world a very long time to understand black people, and most of it has to do with how little voice black people have in the world at large. So yeah.
Do you have any like fun things you found out about, like, because of course there's no similarities, but like more so that kind of, like, at least for me, I grew up here my whole life, right? So I didn't have that much black culture that I was raised upon, even though my father is. But when I would see like another black girl, like a mixed girl, I would be like just excited, like even though I'm not, there's I don't know her, like there's that kind of string that pulls us together. Have you had that here, like regardless?
No, I've had those few moments of happiness, like that feeling of seeing a black someone, like it brings the feeling of, all right, cool, we're here. Like we definitely here, like we're around the world, like, and it brings a sense of relief, maybe, if that's the right word I'm looking for. Like it, to see someone like you, whether you know each other or not, whether you're gonna speak to each other or not, it just brings that thing of alright, cool. You know, it's nice. And I mean, there's so many nice things about living in Japan as a black foreigner, and it also has to do with where one is from. I'm from a very unsafe country when compared to Japan. Like I see crazy interesting things in Japan, like people walking on their phones on the street. Where I'm from, you ain't doing that. No. There's no such thing as I'm gonna walk to the bus stop with my phone on my hand without someone thinking of snatching it, if not really snatching my phone. That sense of how the society itself trusts each other and depends on each other, like crazy things for me, like as a South African, like seeing kids walking to school by themselves. I'm like, what? Wait, kindergarten? Back, minding their own business. And I'm like, wait. And it's because I wasn't raised to think and feel like that, like the level of respect for one another and how people value each other, like from all age groups. I come from a society and culture where adults rule. It's adults and then kids, blah 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 blah. But here, like people like kids are more on the top, like on a train or a bus. If you walk in with a little kid, like you are given a seat, or that little, I've seen with my son, like an old person would stand up and give up their seat, and I'm like, wait, like for me it's a reverse. It's like reverse. As old as I am, I'm not too old, but like if a 60, 70-year-old walks in the bus, I need to stand up, which I still do, like, and then there's that line in between that, hey, he's a foreigner. But like, I don't let that thing of, they don't want to sit next to me in a train, build that character of, I don't want to stand up when someone needs a seat, like, because I'm wired like that. But when you get to Japan, like, kids are more important. Like, I see kids crossing the street with adults just around, no one's holding the kid's hand or anything. Where I'm from, kid don't jump no street without all the people like, hey, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So it has those nice things about it, and like I said, it all goes back to how society values trust, and that's what formulates the structure and way of these people living in peace and harmony. Like crossing a road here is how crossing the road should be. For 30-something years of my life, I always had to cross the road, double checking, even when I'm in the middle of the road. Like here, you just check, like how you were raised to look out before crossing the road, and that's enough. Where I'm from, no, you always
right. You gotta keep looking
until you're on the other side of the road. Like how pedestrians are valued, people on bikes, like it's just so different. But like it has to do with trust, and that's how all those things were like formed and laid out, that kids will walk to school without having to worry about someone trying to snatch your kid. You can cross the street without having to look left and right until you're on the other side of the road. You can walk on the street, mind your own business, be on your phone, like just live a normal life, which is something I find so cool and amazing about being in Japan. Like, okay, there's such on the other side of the world. Like 30-something years, man, I've always looked behind me everywhere I go, so it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I've learned a lot from your perspective as well, because I've only seen one perspective, and I do see like things in media, but obviously it's not the same as growing up there and just seeing things online. So
true.
That brings us to the end of today's episode. Once again, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story. I really appreciated it, and it truly means a lot. Wishing you a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for having me.